That's all you do is just hit a switch and we're live.
So all I do is I hit a switch and live.
I thought it just like threw us into live because you had like a timer on it.
Oh no, it gives me a countdown and then I hit the button to say go live.
Maybe one day I'll see what you see.
Maybe one day you'll see what I see and the world will be wonderful. So
Hi
it's our
everybody,
last.
welcome back to Queers and Soaps. I feel like we haven't really done this in a while.
I know since we started going live, I feel like I hardly ever see you.
Tonight, as part of our final Halloween celebration discussion, we're going to be
That
talking about the TV series Scream and the new Amazon Prime TV series I Know You Did Last Summer. And we're just going to kind of compare them and see how they measure up to the films.
yeah, it's the
So,
battle of the slasher TV series based on six horror franchises.
so roll the credits and we'll get started.
All right.
It's even weird seeing the theme song without a guest.
I know it's just family tonight. A small, intimate gathering of family. So I have to say, I was not. I was dreading watching the "I Know What You Did Last Summer" TV pilot because that trailer, whoever put it together, oh my gosh, was like, know what?
I know.
Let's make this the worst show ever, or make it look like it's the worst thing ever. And I have to take that back. I
Well, it was originally on our agenda, and then the trailer came out, and we quickly reassessed and purged it from the agenda.
we were like investors pulling our money fast. We are like, nope, nope. And then I
Uh,
watched it and I was like, oh my gosh, I feel so bad. I judged a book by its or I judged a movie by its trailer.
and then it quickly became part of the agenda again by accident because we're live and we didn't realize we had an extra week. So by a stroke of luck, it came back.
Right. But I will
But
say that I Know What You Did Last Summer pilot, very good. I mean, a little predictable. A little predictable. Like I was predicting the little twist they had, which I
oh,
guess
I called that.
spoiler alert. Spoiler alert! In case anyone's watching, if you plan on watching this show, don't watch or don't listen now.
Mhm.
But when they did the twin switch, I was totally expecting that.
I literally paused it and said to Kyle, I feel like they're gonna switch.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so there was a process. Um, at one point when she first lit the cigarette when she was coming home from college, I was like, "Yeah, you're smoking." I'm like, "This feels not of its time. I feel like she should be vaping or something." But that was put there for a reason
Mm-hmm.
because then during the party scene, you see the good sister. What's her name? The more wild one is Lennon, and what's the other one?
Uh, Allison,
Allison.
isn't it? Allison.
I'll go with that. If it's wrong,
Okay.
we'll just be
If
wrong.
it's wrong, I'm sorry. I vaguely
uh,
remember them saying Allie.
we see her light a cigarette, so that was kind of like a hint, hint.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I caught on to that because that kind of made my eyebrow go up.
Well, soon as you tell me there's a twin, you know there's a switch coming. It's just that's what us writers do.
My brain doesn't automatically go there with primetime. Daytime,
Oh,
definitely, but not with primetime.
well,
So,
do you? I don't consider this prime time.
okay, yeah. Okay, I guess I will lump
I mean,
streaming
I
in.
guess there needs to be a whole other little segment.
Mm-hmm.
We'll just say streaming. We'll just say streaming.
Streaming, yeah. So, I don't remember. It was a point in the party. I don't know if it was I don't know. It was definitely a point in the party. I just paused it and I was like, I have a feeling that she's pretending to be her sister. And I said, I watched way too many soap operas.
Well, I just remember think like I had an ideal in college, and I did something similar to what they did. I mean, I'm not saying it. I had the original idea, no, because twins and switcheroos have been around forever. But the thing that made the twist interesting was when she told her dad. I mean, because her dad, I like that her dad could tell the sisters, the twins apart.
Okay, now you're talking about episode 2. Because that didn't
Oh,
happen until episode 2.
well,
But yes, that was a good twist also.
for some
And
reason,
the X one.
I watched the first 2 episodes kind of at the same time. Like I
Oh,
went
okay.
right into the next one because I had to. I had to know what was going to happen.
Okay, so the episode 1 ends. Okay, so episode 1 starts with Lennon coming home from college, and she gets a note that says, or a text. I don't remember.
Her mirror hat. She found a goat in her
And
closet.
it said, "I know what you did last summer," and there was a goat's head in her closet. So she's screaming. Also, by the way, nice little nod to the movie with the mirror thing.
And a little pretty to me, a little Pretty Little Liars nod as well. Oh wait, no, they wrote soon on the. Never mind. I got Pretty Little Liar vibes from I Know What You Did Last Summer.
So then, the whole episode is basically a year. What happened the year before that led up to this moment?
They kind of give us a
We
little.
watch the whole episode, and then it ends with her screaming again with the goat head, and that's how the episode ends. So basically, Allison is. I don't want to say she's a screw up, but she's more introverted, and but she also seems to not be the smartest, and doesn't really try.
I don't think that she's not like the smartest of the two. I think she doesn't try. I feel like she lives in her sister's shadow, and she has her entire life. So
she's just given up, doesn't try anything.
Yeah, if they want to think I'm a fuck up, I'll just be a fuck up.
Like she didn't even apply. Well, this is what makes me think she didn't have good grades because she didn't even bother to apply to a college. She was staying home while Lennon was going to like some Ivy League college, wasn't she?
And she was going to Michigan. Was it Michigan State?
Michigan.
I think that's where she was planning on going. Which that's a 180 for someone to go from tropical weather like that to Michigan. Whew. I'd be freezing.
I like that it was set in Hawaii. That was nice.
I did like that.
The party scene was a little bit hard to follow because I didn't know who was a regular cast member, who wasn't, who am I supposed to be paying attention to, like who matters and who doesn't.
Well, at first, though, the only character that I even found likable was, even though she was kind of messed up in her world, Allison. Because the other ones, I was just like, oh my God, all you care about is drinking, drugs, and sex. Which maybe that's I'm getting older, so those aren't those aren't priorities. Well, never were priorities. But like that, the Instagram girl did not care for.
Yeah.
They were just this party that their parents were throwing. They're just throwing around drugs like it was nothing.
That's what I was saying. I was like, okay, this is a romantic party.
Why?
The parents are just in the kitchen allowing this party to happen.
Because clearly you can tell that's a wild party. So those parents were, probably doing some of their own stuff.
The two sisters, the less popular sister, Allison, is kind of forced to go. Like the father brings her to the party.
Well, I think the sister wanted her to come too. I think the sister has probably spent a big portion of her life trying to get Allison
out of her shell.
Just out of her shell, loosen up and just. But you found that there's some daddy issues there too. That Lennon's always been favored, and she does no wrong.
There's other things there. I feel like there's other underlying issues that maybe we haven't gotten to the root of, because it's implied that Lennon basically sleeps around to get what she wants.
Mm-hmm.
Teachers, boys, girls, whatever.
Yeah, I didn't think it was right that which I guess we don't. I mean, did she have sex with her Allison's like crush Dylan? I think.
Yes,
Okay,
she
okay,
did.
she did. Okay, to me, because at first I didn't know. I thought, oh, is this going to be the thing that why they can he knows it's not actually Lennon because
I wasn't sure either until she flat out like said it and it wasn't denied. So I was like, oh, okay.
I thought that was a little messed up to be like your sister doing that. So there's some stuff going on there that we don't know.
And also now that we're talking about it, I just had an idea. Lennon might have been putting on a front that because their mother killed herself.
Mm-hmm.
So Lennon might be putting on this front that she's okay, she's moved on, whatever, and like Allie never did. But maybe that's why Lennon acts the way she does, because that's her way of coping with her mother's suicide. She's acting out.
I can't remember. I feel like some reason the mother will pop up again. I don't know why.
What if in a plot twist, this woman that we saw by the rocks is their mother?
I don't know. That woman knows a little something. I did like the throwback to the original with Dale that drove up. So like he was like the Max.
I did think it was funny that the Instagram girl, because I can't remember her name, could throw up on command.
Oh my god!
She just started throwing up.
She was like, oh. I was like, forget cry on command. I will. The one thing though that I hope they make it a little bit different is I got very Allison vibes.
Like Pretty Little Liars, Allison.
Pretty Little Liars, Allison from Lennon.
Mm-hmm. The dad is hot, by the way.
Oh, that sex. Wait, is the sex tape in the first one or the second one?
I haven't seen the sex tape.
Okay, so it's in the second one. Ooh.
I saw the second one. There's a sex tape
of him and the officer. Yeah, and
him and the officer. I saw them hook up, but there's a sex tape.
I don't know who sent the video, but Lennon. When we're talking from here on out, we're just gonna we won't mention. There'll be the twin, and then there's Lennon, who is the one that we'll do what the dad says. From here on out, you are Lennon.
Lennon, yeah.
She's looking at his phone, and there's a video, and she plays it, and it's her dad and that police officer, and I think he's handcuffed to a chair, and she's like on top of him and just going at it. I was like, ooh, interesting position.
Are you sure that's not episode 3?
It might be.
Because I don't remember
that. It might be. Okay, so we'll just talk about the episodes we've seen up to this point. But the Scream pilot, something that I thought was interesting about the I Know What You Last Summer. In the Scream one, they discussed, if you're doing a horror franchise or slasher film as a TV series, you have to care about the characters or you're not going to care when they die. I was like, oh, I doubt that's it. When they killed the gay one on I Know What You Did Last Summer, my heart broke.
That was in episode 2. That was not in the pilot.
Well, we're talking about what we've seen.
We were only supposed to be talking about the pilots.
Well, we branched out.
Well, don't branch out anymore in Scream because I haven't seen any.
Oh, I've only watched the first Scream. I Know What You Did Last Summer appealed to me a little bit more, which I'm very shocked it did.
Okay. So they kind of did like a modern take on the whole car accident hitting somebody and then having to cover it up. I kept flip flopping on my whole theory that there was going to be a sister swap because of the necklace. I was like, oh, she was wearing, and then they had the scene where they showed her take it off and throw it at Lennon. So I was like, oh, I was right. Was she still breathing? Because I felt like she was gasping as the water was coming into the cave.
I do too. And like here's what I figure will happen is that lady who was over there goes into the cave, sees she's still alive, nurses her back to health or whatever.
Right. But didn't they stay there for a while to make sure that the cave filled up with water?
They made sure the tide was coming in.
Oh.
Okay. And then they boot, scoot, and boogied.
What if it's Lennon messing with them?
Well, that's what I figure, but she probably got help somewhere.
Yeah.
There's got to be more to it.
Yeah.
So like part of what I think is Lennon, the real Lennon, will come back and be like, "How did none of you know that was not me? How did you fall?"
She can't really do that if they're all dead, if she kills them all.
Yeah, well, true, but I feel like she's probably mad at her dad too.
Yeah.
I mean, because Lennon was the favorite.
You just let her get away with it.
Yeah.
So compared to the movie, what do you think? Do you think it's comparable?
I'm going to say on par.
Yeah. I was thinking about this earlier, and
I was very shocked.
Different time, it's different people, it's a different story. But I thought it was good. So I feel like it holds its own. So I feel like it's pretty comparable to the movie.
I did too. And I didn't think I was going to like the main character, the Lennon Allison, but I like her. I'm just waiting for her to go, "What are you waiting for, huh?" What? Like if she doesn't do that, or if someone doesn't get their hair cut, and
All right, note to self: you've seen three episodes, and she hasn't done it yet, so it doesn't happen in episode 3. So I guess onto the screen pilot.
Oh, one thing I did like though, they we haven't gotten to it yet. Never mind. I was gonna say, like in the movie of I Know You Last Summer, it takes forever for them to realize, some people are getting killed.
Mm-hmm.
But in the TV show, once that first kill happens,
they get a video of it,
mm-hmm.
which is so messed up.
I know. Wait till you see how the fiance dies.
Oh, they show it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. You're like, and what's worse is he's like, and then they do, and then bloop.
All right. I'm probably gonna watch it tonight.
When you see, you'll be like, yeah, he right. Mm-hmm.
So now onto Scream. I have to be honest, I did not give this show a chance when it was first on. I tried to watch the pilot, and the minute I saw it wasn't Ghostface, I was like, this is crap, and I turned it off.
I didn't either, and that's just because I think I was still mad mentally about not getting a Scream 5. And I was just in that. I'm like, no, I want a movie, not an MTV show.
Yeah, at this point, they were pretty much like, there's never going to be another Scream movie.
Yeah, and they're like, this is
Scream, this is it.
Yeah, and I was like, I remember I was like, no, that's not it. I'm not watching it. It's like, I'll show you. Because my one view is really going to make a difference, But
I went in with a more open mind this time.
I did too.
Maybe because I'm older and I know that there is a new Scream coming out.
And
Uh,
I kind of look at it like this way too. What if this could be set in the same universe? And the reason that person chose that mask, but a different one, was to like because he heard about the Woodsboro massacre or Sidney Prescott. So he's like, "Ooh, that killer was like, ooh, I want a mask."
well, I did a little light Wikipedia looking over of the series. I didn't want to be spoiled because I think I am going to continue. But I know that the Ghostface mask comes back in season 3,
Yeah, but
and
season,
they also call it Scream Resurrection. That's what season 3 is called.
yeah, but season two, like season one and two, were the main cast that we know now, and then
Hmm.
they do like a soft reboot.
Hmm.
Season three has nothing to do
Nothing
with
to
the
do.
first two.
Yeah. Hmm.
It's like standalone in a sense. But I've read rumors that they are going to make another season with the original Scream the TV show cast.
You had mentioned that, and not too long after you had mentioned that, I read that in like either a comments or an article. Um, so we'll see. I haven't seen it
I
anywhere
hope
since. Well, have you watched it? Have you gone ahead and watched it all?
the Scream show. I
Yeah.
haven't watched it all, but I know who the killer is, so don't worry, I won't spoil it,
Okay.
and all that kind of stuff.
Okay.
Because it's one of those things. I watched a few, and then I was ready for that payoff too. I remember watching a little bit like, okay, this is gonna last too long. I'm used to having my hour and 45 minutes at the max, find out who
Uh-huh.
Ghostface is, and going on my day. Yeah, no, there's a build up with this one.
So the first kill, I feel like she was supposed to be like the Drew Barrymore kill.
The scariest thing about her is if she didn't die now, she's gonna have carpal tunnel by the way she takes it so fast. I was like, girl, whoa. And that was before she was getting stalked.
Because that's Bella Swan, right?
Hmm.
And she's sort of a thing.
At that time, she was a big thing, for sure.
Yeah, because she had a show on Freeform, and she had done a few movies, I think.
Hmm. Had the Disney show.
Oh, she
You
had a
know,
Disney show.
I think so too. Hmm.
Hmm.
She was in that age demographic for that group that they were at on MTV. She would have been a big thing, I think.
Um, I I won't mind if you spoil this. You don't have to say who, but does season 2 have an opening kill with a recognizable face also?
Oh, I didn't. I hadn't seen that before.
Oh, okay, never mind.
I just looked up, watched the episodes where I found out who the killer was.
Oh, okay. So I thought the opening kill was actually good.
I thought it was.
I remember even when I watched it a few years ago, like when it first came on,
Hmm.
I was a little bit on the edge of my seat because I didn't know what was going to happen. I was just pissed when they showed the mask and it wasn't Ghostface.
I remember just thinking, man, why would anyone want a house with that many windows? It was very like in Scream 2, in Stab. I felt like it was kind of a throwback to that
We
because
discussed this when we did the movie
I
Scream.
know I still
I have an issue with houses now. I'm like, there's too many points of entry.
I when I watch it things like that, I'm just like, not safe. Or actually, it should be you have that many points of entry and you just can't get out alive. So,
um, I I actually was more concerned about the dog. I was like, you better not hurt that puppy.
when the
When he
mom
started
comes,
her heads up, I was like, he better not throw that dog in the pool.
when the mom comes back and she's like, "Oh, hello, baby," and then she's like, "Ah," like that was it's a good scream. I will
um,
say, I do think the character that was the Randy was good.
the one that kind of explained how
Yeah, explains how it works.
you have to get to know the characters to care
Yeah,
about them when they
yeah,
die. It's shocking.
yeah.
Yeah, Kyle wasn't watching, but he was in the room when that happened, and I looked at him. I was like, oh, was that supposed to be like the rules? Like, was that like a wink to the audience? And
Yeah,
he's like,
that yeah.
I wasn't watching, so I'm like, okay.
So I did find these characters starting off a little more likable, like Emma, and a little more likable
I did
than
like them
the.
better. Like I said, I think I had a more open mind because I couldn't stand any of them years ago, and now I'm like, oh, okay, whatever. I'm here for it.
Yeah.
I feel like they're planting red herrings everywhere to make everybody look like a suspect.
Well, that's what you do in a whodunit.
Yeah. Um, Colin from 90210 is in it as the cop, the sheriff.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's right. I remember. I was like, "What do I know you from?" I couldn't
He's
think of
just
it.
a little bit older. And so is Tracy Middendorf, who's been in everything.
But I do think if they would have just done this show and not called it Scream, but just made a shit like named it something different, I would have probably been all over the show. I love the mom.
Yeah.
Like the mom had a backstory that tied to the current day, and
Daisy.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm
So,
actually really intrigued by where this story is going to go. So I definitely want to continue watching after I watch Riverdale.
and I'm watching Riverdale right now, and I'm at. They just found out who the Black Hood was, but I know that's not the end of it. Um,
um,
I'm never spoiled because I spoil myself. Can't get spoiled if you spoil yourself. Because I'm not going to be mad at myself. That'd just be wrong.
um, so yeah, I really liked it. I don't think it's as high a quality as I Know What You Did Last Summer's pilot was.
Which
Um,
that's very surprising. Like maybe it's because Amazon has a little bit of a bigger budget. I don't know. But it
um,
does. The Scream show seems a little more CW, and I'm not saying that's a bad thing.
I don't think it's this on the same level as the movies.
Oh no! If I'm rating TV versus movie, Scream wins, of course. But the other one, that's where it's like, ooh, equal footing.
Mhm.
If I Know What You Did Last Summer did not have Sarah Michelle Gellar. How funny!
You,
Yesterday we were talking about Sarah Jessica
you,
Parker, and you said Sarah Michelle, and I was going to talk about Sarah Michelle, and I said Sarah Jessica. If Sarah Michelle Gellar wasn't in the movie, the TV show, I might say a little bit more better. A little bit more better. That would be, I might say, is better.
Okay.
I mean, I love Jennifer Love Hewitt too. Don't get me wrong, but Sarah Michelle Gellar steals the scenes in that movie.
So comparing the two shows, I guess we're going with I Know What You Did Last Summer's better.
Correct.
Now let's grade them individually.
Individually, we'll start with I Know What You Did Last Summer. Man, that's a long title to have to say all the time. I'm gonna say B plus.
Yeah, I was gonna say B plus. Give it room for improvement.
Just because the main twist of them switching was very predictable. Because they were focusing on like, here, you take that jacket off. Or little things like that. Let me make you look more like
it
you
was good.
Ready to do that.
It was good for a pilot because a pilot's always setting things up, and so a lot of things happened.
So, but yes,
the pilot.
I'd give that B plus.
And I would give the Scream pilot a C plus.
I'm gonna go with a B minus. Mainly because they worked a lot of stuff into that pilot and it still made sense.
Okay.
Got a little bit of town history, some stuff's coming up. but I could see why you would say C plus.
Do you think there was somebody in the lake, or did he really just have his foot caught on some fishing wire?
Okay, maybe I do take it to C plus because I remember that making me like, so what? Someone's been waiting underwater for a group of kids
Yeah.
to put you in. Okay, so yeah, I'll change my grade C plus. And I remember going,
I was extra nervous when the blonde girl went into the garage. I
oh
was like,
yeah.
oh, it's gonna be another Tatum scene.
I was like, girl, don't you know? You don't, but trying to think that, but when he was like threatened, don't you come between me and Emma, I was like, ooh, okay, Billy Loomis.
Mm-hmm. And then I feel like his friend who's deleting stuff off of the laptop is supposed to be Stu.
Yeah, see, you could tell where that, but I think didn't Kevin Williamson in some way? I know Wes Craven was a part of the project.
This is I went on Wikipedia and it says Wes Craven's an executive producer, but
I
the
think
reason
Kevin
why I went on
Williamson.
the Wikipedia is because in the opening credits, when they were, they showed the actors' names and whatever, it said story by Kevin Williamson. And I'm like, did he write for the show?
That's what I was. Yeah,
But I didn't really get an answer on Wikipedia and I didn't want to go too deep and spoil things, so I just stopped.
I remember seeing that too. And I don't remember him being involved the first time around.
It said story by Kevin Williamson, and then it said based on the characters from
Yes,
Scream by Kevin Williamson.
I remember seeing that, and I remember going, If they would have promoted that a little bit more, I probably would have been more okay with it.
Yeah, because around that time he had The Following, which was a really good show. I wish I would have stuck
Which
with it.
I'm told is like he took parts of his ideas for Scream 3, I think, or Scream, and wrote. That's how some of the storylines that was going to happen. Scream was supposed to there's supposed to be this ghost face cult or something, and it was going to be like that was their goal was to kill the original 3 or something like that. So that's how that was going. Is what I read. I do like.
I would have been into that.
I would have too. That would have been fun. Or not. Well, you know what I mean when I say fun, but no, The Following was really good. I got very addicted to that. I remember watching that first season.
I only watched a handful of episodes in the beginning. Something happened where I just couldn't keep up with it, and I was like, "Oh, I'll get to it," and then it was just gone.
Every once in a while, there are these shows that come around. They all come on at the same time, and they're really good. And then you get, life happens, and you lose track of some of them.
I don't know if it was the same season, but I really wanted to watch Gotham. And I think it was Gotham, The Following, and there was a whole bunch of other shows on, and life was happening, and I was like, all right, I can't really take on these new shows right now.
And now I just go, well, it'll be on Netflix or Hulu at some point. So,
and the Following was on Netflix, but now it's not. So, and I can't find it anywhere streaming for free. So I'm hoping one day it pops up again.
I'm sure it will. So, but I'm going to continue watching the Scream series, though. I'm going to continue watching both of them because I don't know if you remember. There's a show called Harper's Island. It was a summer show. It was in.
I never watched it, but I heard of it.
And I remember, I enjoyed that show. So I was hoping Scream, the TV show, was going to be something like that, but just more in the way of what Scream was like. And
is Harper's Island a murder mystery?
Yes. And each week, someone dies. For sure, someone is dying. And
I think it's on Netflix. Or it was.
It might be somewhere. I think it's somewhere. But I thought that was good. And it had some soapy elements to it as well.
I'll have to look into that. But that's all I have to say, really, about these two shows.
Yeah, I just continue watching them because I don't think we're going to be disappointed.
No, I don't think so either.
So
next week
we'll come back and we'll be disappointed.
So next week, we're getting back to basics.
We're
Going
back
to our
to our bread and butter.
So let me just pull up my agenda. So Monday, November 1st, which I cannot believe is next Monday, but
Like,
okay.
oh my gosh, can you believe it's already November? Or, well, almost November.
We're going to be covering The Days of Our Lives first primetime, I was going to say spinoff, primetime special, One Stormy Night. From
Starring
1990.
our girl, which I know she's not the main star, but in my opinion, she's the main star, Crystal Chappelle.
And then Tuesday, the 2nd, we're going to be talking about the first season of Eastsiders, which was a web series that Netflix picked up, I think, in its 3rd season.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really quick. The season's like maybe 6 to 9 episodes, and they're no longer than 15 minutes each. So that's an easy watch.
Which stars Van. What's it?
Francis.
Thank you. I only know him as Noah or Luke. Luke
From As the World Turns.
Yeah. Oh,
and then Thursday, the 4th, we're going to be discussing the first season of Riverdale. So we have a full week next week.
Woo.
So
I'm busy.
So if you haven't already, like, subscribe, follow. I'm sure you have if you're with us at this point.
Tell your friends. Have your friends like, follow, subscribe. If you're in the airport, just tell a stranger. Make friends.
And we will see you next Monday live at 8 o'clock Eastern Time, 7 o'clock Central. Until then, happy Halloween, and we'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.